welcome to the Swain Valley League Season 6 semi-final between number 2 seed Thomas the Dank Engine and number 4 seed Sharkbait HooHa, coming off the worst week in SBL history. I'm joined here with reigning losers Xmas Tree, and I'm just Dan, aka Mash the EIRL. Guys, how you feeling?
I like that term. Good. I like the term reigning losers.
I'm glad I haven't been a reigning loser for a few weeks now. It feels great.
Reigning loser makes it not sound so bad.
So just waiting a moment for Vivaret, it looks like, so we'll talk about this matchup a little bit before we get into our first draft. This, I think, is going to be a very, very tough series for Sharkbait. They caught a lot of breaks versus Forces of Nature last week. You can very easily imagine that series starting 2-0 in favor of Forces of Nature the way those first two games went. So Sharkbait have to be feeling very lucky to be playing in this series. And Thomas the Dank Engine closed the season really, really strong, and I think they have potential to be an even stronger team than they were at the end of the season. Selva's been playing out of his mind lately.
Yeah, I've been playing with him a lot, and he's definitely on top of his game right now. So they should put up a good fight, if nothing else. Like Sharkbait's gonna have to struggle to get out of this one, I think.
Fortunately for Sharkbait, though, they do have something that half the league doesn't have, and that is a diamond player, specifically in the mid lane, called Vivaret. He's going to be going up against a diamond player called Thrifty Senpai. Yeah, you might, if you've been following this league, you might have seen these guys a few times. They're actually both fairly good at League of Legends. But that is definitely an advantage that Sharkbait has that no other team has, is they should have by far the lowest chance of their mid lane just getting stomped over by Alice on a good day.
The thing is, though, Alice is a diamond mid-main. Vivaret is a diamond who went mid for his team. He's normally plays bottom. So they are both diamond. They both have very good mechanics. It's just that Alice has more experience in the mid lane.
Yeah, that's definitely true, but Vivaret has gotten a lot better as the season's gone on. I believe he's been maining mid for about the past 3 months now because of this season. And he's been playing in other tournaments as a mid lane player as well. He was playing mid for the Pongland most recently. I still wouldn't expect him to have quite the depth as a mid laner that Thrifty Senpai has. But Viv's played very well.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely no reason to assume he won't do well. It's just we'll get to see if just the diamond mechanics overall, how close that makes this middle, or if Thrifty Senpai is able to win this just based off his previous experience in mid in general. Yeah, obviously they're going to give their last pick either to Stripe top lane or Vivaret middle. I'm assuming they're going to give it to Stripe. Stripe been doing very well recently on pretty much anyone he picks. We're just waiting on one player, I think.
Yeah, I believe it's just Vivaret that's currently AFK. These teams, some of these guys may have thought this game was supposed to be starting at 7:15, although we were planning to start as soon as Strip got here. And just expecting that to be 7:15.
It's always super fun.
So let's
get me started.
Let's just talk about last week a little more, guys. What happens?
I haven't watched the replays yet, obviously, mostly because they're so fucking long. I would have already watched them if they were shorter.
I mean, if you guys want some advice, you can watch the first like 15 to 20 and then the last 15 to 20 of either of those games. But it looks like Vivaret is back. He just changed up his pick order, so we are just getting the OKs from both of these teams, and we're going to start up this first draft.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what research they've done, because obviously we're going to see super targeted bands coming out here, but they've seen plenty of each other playing all season.
I'm also curious to see if we're going to see anything new out of these guys now that we have 2 weeks of Worlds under our belts to kind of base our opinions of the game around.
Did Stripe do I can't remember, but did he do double jungle every game last week? I believe he did.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. So I'm assuming we're going to see more of that. I think it would kind of be interesting to see lane swaps.
Yeah, I think it did. I'm not 100% on that. It would be if one team had if Dank Engine had a comp that significantly had advantage from pulling a lane swap, I think they would try it. But in any other situation, I don't think it would happen.
So for bans, like we said, super targeted. We do have Lulu coming out for Stripe because that's his most played. I think no matter what, that would be first pick for sure. Shyvana coming out for Dub. Obviously, he wrecks things almost every single time he gets Shyvana tanky and deals tons of damage. Fiora coming out for Wind. No one wants to deal with that top. Even probably even after the nerf that's coming in 5.2, she'll still be annoying. And then Jinx coming out for Salvo. He's been playing very well. And as we've seen at Worlds, she's just doing super well right now. Kassadin seems like a weird ban to me.
Yeah, I think that's a big respect ban. Vivaret's played fairly well the few times he's gotten Kassadin. And that's just one of those champions that can take over a game entirely. I think it makes sense to, if you don't have any other super targeted ban, which after the Lulu and Shyvana, I don't think there's a major target for Sharkbaits. So why not just make it so the best player on their team can't have a super hard carry champ like Cass? And then, of course, Zyra with the final ban. I don't expect to see that in Thrifty Senpai's hands for the rest of the season. So first pick of the draft going to be Develop Milk taking Nocturne. That's a pick I actually really like out of him and for TDE here. It lets him do his own thing, but then whenever Thrifty Senpai is being ganked, odds are Develop Milk is going to be there too.
He also plays that like an assassin. Like if once he gets mid to late game, he builds almost full damage, assuming he doesn't get behind, and he's going to destroy your carry. Mm-hmm. We do see an Ahri pick up, so just a really safe mid coming out for Vivaret right away. That's an early pick as well. So obviously Ahri with her triple jumps on her ult, super safe and can engage well with the charm.
Yeah, but that could really shake up this draft. Thrifty Senpai is going to pick up the Lux as an Ahri counter pick. That is not something I was expecting. But that is a champ I know that Alice is feeling very confident in on this current patch. Not something we've been seeing at Worlds at all, but he thinks it's very Lux is very strong right now. And with the Ahri being picked early, Alice doesn't have to wait till any later to counterpick. But man, is that going to be a scary team for Lux to be up against? Obviously, Ahri and Wukong are going to be able to just perma-dive, and with a On the Hunt to back it, those two up, it is not easy to be a Lux under fire.
Yeah,
And
we'll
we
have
know
to see if
Thrifty
he can.
Senpai sometimes has a bad tendency to get caught out as team fights are starting up. He's going to have to be very careful
Or
not to
in
do
lane,
much of
if he's
that.
feeling super far ahead, he tends to get caught out more, and that allows his enemies sometimes to rebound back. A super defensive bot lane coming out here. So we've got Sivir and Braum. Braum obviously like the king of counter engages. If he can get that Q on him and then just stun the shit out of him. Sivir with the spell shield, pretty good against a decent amount of them, especially like Lux ult. Like as long as Sivir hasn't used it already in a fight, there's no reason he should be dying to a Lux ult after the fact. We do see a.
They're trolling. They won't lock either of those.
No,
Well,
Vayne.
I guess they will lock one of those.
Vayne does get locked, so it's definitely not a protect the Vayne comp, but Salvo's feeling
This is a forgiven Vayne comp. There's only one way to play, and that is forward.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
on the way to getting Echo, which is one of his favorite champions in the past few months as well. This is a very, very high damage comp coming out of TDE.
Yeah, there's a ton of damage here. The only one not just wanting to destroy people is Alistar. And he's probably just going to be sitting on his Vayne.
Well, back in the day, Team Swain's support Gelnir actually used to build Black Cleaver Alistair, so I'm wondering if Zaku's going to consider giving that a try here to maximize his team's potential damage. All right, so last pick of the draft going to be a Darius for Madam Strip.
Trying to get that before it gets nerfed.
Not too much of a surprise pick there, and that's going to really put a bit of a timer on this game. If this game goes late, I'm really worried for TDE that Madam Strip is going to just be able to completely take over the game. I mean, Bane's a very good matchup versus Darius, but if Salvo's running from anyone else on that team, Darius should be tanky enough to survive everything else going out in those fights.
Yeah, that's what remains to be seen at this point, because there's a lot of different ways these fights could go, but there is a lot of dive coming over here from Sharkbait. So Salvo's going to have to be using those tumbles and that invisibility very well. On top of Zaku's going to need to help him out. And like you said, Lux, not very mobile. She's got a snare and a slow, but if she misses the snare, she's not a safe champion. Yeah. Yeah, that will also depend on how ahead he gets, if he gets kills early or not. Because a Nocturne ahead is super scary, deals shit tons of damage late game. But yeah,
So,
go ahead.
Now that we've had a little time to think on these picks, if you had to pick one player you think is going to be the most important player in this game, in whichever way you want to interpret most important player, who would you guys pick?
We're gonna have to be watching Salvo for sure on blue team here on Dank Engine, because Vayne is so good at ADC right now. If he can perform as well as he has been on Jinx, he should be able to carry this straight through to a win. Yeah, Rune King's a point for it, or just an alt in general. But we have seen Zaku hit like such good Alistair engages that they might just look for some aggression early game.
Another thing to note is that Vayne has been used all competitive season long as a counter pick to Sivir, just because once Vayne starts to get ahead, there is no outplay potential for that Sivir. There is nothing the Sivir is going to do once Vayne tries to duel
Yeah,
but lose.
if Vayne's ahead, you don't win that as Sivir ever. Because I mean, especially like your Q is a huge part of your damage as Sivir, and Vayne can just press her Q and dodge it. Yeah. Yeah, I do assume most of the pressure will be bot. Maybe I guess we will see some mid as well. Normally, Alice either gets a lot of ganks or gets ganked a lot, and with both diamonds being mid, I'm expecting to see more ganks mid than normal. Either team trying to put the other one down and get theirs ahead. Anime Lux, should have guessed. From the senpai himself. Oh, good. I was a little worried there with Strike not connecting right away. I do know he's playing on the laptop, but had me worried for a second there.
He actually always games on a laptop.
Right. Yeah, I was aware of that. I was just saying I was worried that we were gonna have a super long load screen into an immediate pause, which would be the best.
It is always fun to start with the hashtag pause.
Game one, do you think we're gonna see any invades from him, or is everyone just gonna play line defense safe, not wanting to risk anything?
I would not be surprised to see some level 1 action going on in this game. TDE especially has had some success doing things at level 1. And I think they have a solid level 1 comp as well with the Lux. So let's see if they do anything with it.
Yeah, that was a decent buff to her. It makes it a lot easier for her to harass in lane and stuff too. Because she just standing behind one minion doesn't save you anymore. The blitz defense strategy, does it work? We do see Sharkbait here pinging out the line defense. They're all going to the entrances and they're gonna probably drop their trinkets and stop it. But we do see the opposite team gonna get in here, but that's already warded.
Yeah, and Thrifty Senpai going separate from his team looking at the minimap, so...
Yeah, Wukong's gonna see them all here too, so tons of information. They know exactly what they're doing. That being all said and done, highly doubtful there's gonna be any kills going on here.
Yeah, just some good old-fashioned champion mastery spam to start this game off.
Solid, solid. Shouldn't be masteries though. You should have teams. Should have teams you're repping.
Salvo has been repping based Brazil.
Yeah, he's got that pain gaming. They did manage to get a ward at the red buff, so they'll see that when they start this. Because it does look dub. Oh, actually, he might be going bottom right now to start there instead. Yeah, and there's the ping. Still, though, that ward does give them some information on where they are and where they're starting.
Looks like this is the time where Madam Strip is not doing double jungle, and on the win is. So a little different than what we expected this game to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's been literally every game since, for like the last 3 weeks maybe, Stripe has been double jungling every time.
Yeah, so let's see what kind of impact this has on the top lane. Otherwise, just the generic directed camera bouncing all over the map going on early here.
Yeah. Can't decide what it wants to watch.
So one thing to note on that double jungle is it looks like On the Winds didn't tank a whole lot, and he actually lost some creeps to tower. I am very, very confused by that. That is not what you want to be doing in this double jungle. And he's getting a very late recall off here. He's going to lose... He might lose some of his second wave to the tower. I don't know if he's going to show up just in time.
Yeah, I don't know. Darius is always already going back in order to teleport back in and... Oh, he's actually not even going to teleport. He's just going to walk back, so... Obviously, no early game aggression. Both teams
this
just...
top lane should be fairly ungankable at this point.
Yeah. Both sides have a shit ton of wards, have a shit ton of potions, sorry, and a ward, plus their trinket. I'm assuming, like, unless someone misplays this and doesn't watch the minimap or doesn't place the ward at the right time, they shouldn't die.
That's probably not too bad of a thing for either of these jungles. A little extra incentive to farm to 6.
And they're immediately beating the shit out of each other. Good start. Sivir doing what Sivir does best bottom, just shoving in, making everyone else's life more difficult. It's not the worst for Vayne, because with her role and everything, it's fairly easy for her to farm under tower.
Yeah, despite the shove advantage, Salvo's got a couple CS in the lead. So, doing a good job despite all the damage he's taking.
He's down his potion from taking Qs, basically, but other than that, it's really not a big deal.
Salvo just pulls off the biggest trade you'll ever see a Braum take in League of Legends.
And we do see a little scuffle going on over in Dubdrub's jungle. And it does look like they're trying to collapse on the Wind, but the pull misses, so that's not going to go anywhere. Something I didn't even realize until the patch notes is that that pull has a 99% slow. Which is getting nerfed anyway, so... Yeah. But yeah, this 5.2 patch, both his Q range and his pulse slow is getting nerfed. So no actual numbers on him, so he still should be a big bully late game, but getting to that big bully late game should be a little bit harder, because the Q is harder to hit and heal himself up with. So we do see almost a 10 CS lead in mid for Alice already.
Yeah, meanwhile in this bot lane, Zaku going on the aggressive, and Salvo's getting a nice trade out here, but not quite going to get the third level. And then Salvo actually stays a little long on the fight. Meanwhile on the top lane, both these guys being chunked out. On the Wind, dashing forward, he's chunking out Madam Strip, and he's easily going to pick up the first blood with an auto attack. On the Wind, doesn't blow his flash and gets the first blood. And now Madam Strip going to be in a very dangerous place, down a flash versus Nocturne. And
for that trade bottom, it was like they had very good damage. Salvo couldn't quite get the third hit onto Sivir, but he stayed too long trying to then get damage on Destiny, and he took a lot of damage for that. And now, both of them taking a decent amount of damage here with more trades. I assume we're going to see someone going back pretty quickly here. They both do almost have enough for their BF swords. Obviously, Vayne doesn't buy that, but she has enough for her item as well. So we should see pushes and backs pretty quickly on bottom lane. That feels bad, man. On the win gets dunked top lane. Holy shit. Yeah, that was just straight up not like you said, no respect for the damage he can put out.
And
like he was
Melt
6.
in a bit of danger. Dubdrum's jumping in on him. He doesn't have an ultimate, so he's not gonna be able to follow up on this. But he's gonna try now. Thrifty Senpai's. Nope, that's going to be the end of that. The teleport coming out of on the winds. Yeah, just a series of weird plays across the map. I don't know what Hibbs was thinking to not stick around for an extra wave and get that DF sword. He was in no danger in the bot lane.
Yeah, and now Wind is just going straight onto Stripe, getting that third hit, and actually, oh, he's going back in for it as well.
And this is going to be a really scary fight. On the Wind's going to ult in. Madam Strip being taken very low, and Strip does not have an ult. On the Wind gonna get the kill with creep damage.
I like that call to immediately engage when he knew the ult was down. He didn't have to worry about that true damage.
Yeah, very smart play, like On the Wind is known for. I had the chance to talk to him a bit in the past week, and he was feeling very, very confident about this matchup, more so than normal.
He's just been playing better and better, like, the more we've seen him, too. Like, Wind has become a really strong top laner.
Destiny coming for a gank in this mid lane. He does not have an ult, but Thrifty Senpai with a max range shot, and now he's stunned up. This should be a free kill. Ignite goes down from Vivaret to secure it. I'm not entirely sure why, but kill secured and a lead now in the mid lane for Vivaret.
And fighting going on bottom, both of them taking a lot.
Yes,
but
Salvo's gonna pop his Bilgewater Cutlass, and on the hunt pop on. Here comes Dubdrum on the counter engage. Elbow flashing out with Tower Angle. He's gonna die. Now here comes the Belt Mouth. He gets exhausted, and he's gonna flash out and die to the tower. And now Glacial Fissure going down. Zaku could be the third victim to this fight. He pops the Unbreakable Will, but he is stunned. He is slowed. He is boomeranged, and he is going to barely walk. Oh! Barely walk out of this one.
Greed. Yeah, that was just straight greed from them. That dive without any sight and no idea where the jungler was not a good decision.
Salvo was thinking, oh hey, Phil Destiny roamed to mid. I should try to force a fight in the spot lane while Hibbs is 1v2. But he waited long enough to do so that Phil Destiny was almost back, and then there was also a jungle for the counter game. But meanwhile, here comes Vivra into this top lane, right as On the Wind, pops backwards, foot Madam Strip, and he flashes out. Necessary dodge there.
Yeah. Definitely a good use of your flash there, because that was a kill without it. So, very quickly, we went from only the top laners having any kills or deaths to one kill on almost every member of Sharkbait.
So I just want to say, despite this kill on Iroh Hibbs, he had to go with the legendary Berserker's Greaves pickaxe build. So he's not going to really be able to do anything to press this gold advantage without majorly outplaying Salvo.
Yeah, his purchases have just been rough this game. Like,
yeah, and I believe he had.
Yeah, like if you can get pickaxe dagger, you stay for 3 more minions and just get the goddamn BF sword. And Spell getting wasted. Oh, but he just barely messes up that Alistar
and
combo.
Zaku actually pops Unbreakable Will, and now he's being chased on. Somehow turns into a win for the Sharkbait bot lane there with that ultimate force.
Yeah, Subtle's still up on CS, but these sketchy trades are probably going to... Yeah, that was a lot of damage from that Q.
Imagine if he had a BF sword.
So 11.5 minutes in, I'm assuming we're going to be looking for either a fight bottom or something to force this dragon soon. An ult being used on Vivaret for some poke damage, basically, with Lux with that low cooldown ult. Yeah, he's taking a lot of damage every time that's up.
Well, like I said, Salvo can still lose these trades if he gets outplayed, and Hibbs doing a good job on the outplays. And here comes a 2-on-1 on the win top lane. He does not have a flash to get out of this one.
And he does not have
turn
ultimate.
to try to lay some damage down. He's actually laying some nice damage. Oh, wow, he gets the stun on the Madam Strip and enough damage on Dumb Drum to walk out of a 1v2.
That was a lot of damage. I think if his ult was up, if his ult was up, I think he would have done it in a heartbeat. But without his ult, he was too worried about dying for it. So we do some Lux, maybe. Oh no, just getting a ward. She might be coming bot soon with her ultimate, but they do have that warded pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, there is a teleport advantage for Sharkbait. So
oh, nice snare.
Oh, that's a good chunking on the Vibrat, who does not have any health potions. But despite that, this would still be a 5v4 forcible. And everyone's going to just disengage on that dragon. Definitely a smart call for TDE there.
Yeah, I mean, both teams are still super able to win these fights. Both teams have so much damage. And the first Dragon Call could crack this game wide open for one side or the other. And they're still under 1k, so neither team ready to make that call just yet. Dubdrum waiting here for someone to be alone, but he's not willing to go on Thrifty there. Not enough information.
And here comes another recall out of Hips. He's finally going to get a BF sword to turn him into some semblance of an AD carry. But Salvo gonna probably shove this to tower, and he's gonna get his Blade of the Ruined King. And that should definitely give him the advantage in any duels that happen.
Yeah. Speaking of Dragon, if if Sharkbait goes for this right now, unless Ahri comes from mid lane, they shouldn't know they're there at all.
Yeah, this is actually looking like a good
that's exactly what they're doing. And they don't actually have sight on it. So TDE has no way to, I'm sure they're assuming at this point, but it's too late. No one in range. So good vision control, getting them a free dragon basically, because they knew they had gone back bot lane. On the win, getting engaged on now too. Oh wow. So we do. Wukong sitting here in this bush. There is no ward for it. Now he's invisible.
And there's a flash engage. Salvo flashes on the Glacial Fissure, but he is leaving his Alistar to die. And now Zaku with the last minute flash out. Both members of the Dank bot lane gonna walk out of this one. And Thrifty Senpai coming out of Rome to try to defend this tower, but he might be a little too late for this. Neither top laner opts these double down, because here comes the Belt Milk in the top lane. The tower goes down bot, but meanwhile Madam Strip being killed in this top lane. And a third kill of the match for On the Wind. And a potential for a tower trade. But this fight continuing in the bot lane. Now On the Wind's teleporting in. This is very smart.
He does not have a lot of health though.
But that was enough to disengage the fight. And Develop Milk was able to secure the top lane tower. But On the Wind needs to be careful. He is in a bad position here. He's getting lit up by Vibra, and he has to ult into the rest of Sharkbait. And now this fight is starting to look very bad. Salvo's exhausted. Thrifty Senpai Zoda, a double kill for Vibra, a kill for Hips, and a clean 0 for 3.
Yeah, the teleport play in from Wind, he was just a little bit too low to do much there. And then he did manage to get caught out just a little too far for even his ult to save him, so there wasn't
I really
much
think
for him
that
to
was
do.
the issue with that fight, was once On the Wind got caught out, Thrifty and Salvo really compromised their position to try to save him.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where you just got to cut your losses and let him go.
Because it wouldn't have even been a cutting their losses. It was on the win teleported in initially. That was enough to disengage Sharkbait from the fight, while Devout Milk took a free tower in the top lane. But sometimes when you pop that teleport, you really feel like you have to make as much as humanly possible happen with it.
Yeah, it's such a long cooldown, it often makes people feel like, oh, we need to do something. CSs across the board are pretty close. Mostly it's just kills that are differentiating these gold leads at this point.
Yeah, for a 1.5K for Sharkbait, so notable, but not. I mean, after last week, I don't know if any gold lead is safe anymore.
That's alright. I don't think TDE is going to make that same mistake. I think Alice is if Alice's team gets ahead here, they will end it. We do have Ari rolling down here. Let's see.
Yeah, there is no vision for Dank Engine here. Oh. This is going to be... And there's an on the hunt coming out of Hidden Destiny. Zaku goes for a nice disengage. But that might not be enough, because here comes Vibrat. He's going straight onto Salvo intelligently. Salvo's going to try to ult away, but Salvo not going... No, is he going to play to the Ruin King? It's going to save his life. And now Zaku doing what he can to walk out. Probably unnecessary Glacial Fissure going to secure a kill. But TDE's going to just intelligently trade for this mid lane tower.
Not the worst trade in the world.
No, that's a win for Dank Engine, because Sharkbait cannot capitalize with a tower in this bot lane, although they will get the top lane, so I don't actually Devout Milk showing up just in the nick of time.
So yeah, Sovel with a very good juke there, going into Ari rather than trying to get past her immediately, which juked Ari. Ari thought he went to the bush. So very good play there, just faking him out in order to keep himself safe.
And while we have a little lull in the action, Dan, could you turn on champion or player names over the health bars and move the chat a little? I just noticed those were off looking at the stream. Alright, we LCS now, boys.
So, I like all the wards, especially the pink wards on the map for Sharkbait. They've definitely stepped up their warding game in the recent weeks, but it's weird that all of their pink wards are on their side. Like, I realize you want your pink wards safer, but I don't know, it's kind of weird that both of them are, those two in their jungle are so defensive. Yeah, just a lot of wards in general for them, especially on this bot side, and they do have another gank ready.
Here comes Zaku, a nice charm onto Zaku out of Vibrat, but that's not enough. Devout Milk gets the shutdown kill, and Nocturne is on the board.
Yeah, hopefully Salvo realizes he's alone down here and can't do anything, because otherwise Dubdrum is about to wreck him. Nope, actually he's just going to show because he's wasted so much time down here.
Thrifty and Zaku are coming in behind. This could be a very awkward gank. Devout Milk does not have an ult, and he's very far from this fight. But Salvo not going to do anything to try to get in on this fight, so it should just be disengaged. And a nice snare onto Hips. He takes a lot of damage.
Nocturne's coming down, but he does not have ult. Yeah, it does look like this is just going to be a disengage. We do have Dragon come up in 5 seconds. Maybe this was their entire plan, was just to chunk them out and get this Dragon.
Salvo might have just saved Failed Destiny's life with that condemn.
I don't think they were going to go on him. They just wanted him to stay away. But, yeah, that's a good point with the Morel and Namicon, Dan, because, I mean, he is doing a decent amount of damage just with that. That is the nice... Yeah, I don't think she spell shielded any of those. But that is the nice part about Lux ultimate.
Oh, a nice snare on the Failed Destiny. He's trying to shield himself, but a good knock-up, and this is a lot of Dank engines coming into this bot lane. Condemned going to secure the process, and a kill for Salvo, who is finally on the board. And we're going to see a tower trade here. Potentially 2 towers for 1. this might be bad for TDE. On the Wind's gonna juke out and save his life, but
On the win.
no,
on
sorry,
the hunt.
on the hunt. We're gonna nope, no dive attempted, but 2 towers traded for 1 here. A little too tunnel visioned on the kill by TDE.
They're going for a second one, actually.
This is gonna be interesting. Madam Strip does have a teleport if he thinks he can make any kind of 1v2 play. Meanwhile, Vivret going in the mid lane, he easily gets a kill onto Thrifty Senpai. But now Devout Milk is going on the chase. A heal pop from Iroh him to save Vivret's life.
Yeah, and with Hibbs coming in to help Vivret there, Nocturne immediately going, nope, I'm out of here. Uses his flash. So, still fairly even, less than 2k gold apart, and On the Win is looking for this engage on the Dub Drum if he can get there. There's 1, 2,
Yeah,
3.
he's going to get it. And there's the champion mastery, just to remind everyone that he likes Echo.
It's not his first
And,
rodeo.
A lot of items just purchased in the last minutes. Failed Destiny picking up Lock of the Iron Solari, Iroh Hibbs getting his static ship, and both mid laners picking up Luden's Echo. That in particular should be very big.
Yeah, both mid laners, like, damn near the same build to this point.
Actually, that Lock of the Iron Solari is going to be very huge as well versus a Lux and an Echo. Really just 4 big item squad.
Yeah.
So these next team fights might be a bit more explosive than what we've seen thus far.
So there's the blue buff going over the Lux. She's going to be able to clear mid lane like nobody's business. You see some pinks coming over here.
So one thing I want to touch on when we have a chance, Salvo bought Berserker's Greaves and added Alacrity. Going for that extra move speed on Bane.
I can understand wanting to be mobile, but it seems maybe a bit too much money to be using for that right now.
Yeah, I agree. And I also I think Führer is superior. Especially on a champion like Vayne, where you're going to be doing all of your damage via auto attacks.
Like I like his thought process for it of trying to play as safe as possible, but it's a lot of money to throw at it right now this early in the game when every item counts.
Are you telling me that Salvo sometimes has inefficient build orders?
Oh, all the time. I don't know, man.
He's at least more efficient than some of the top laners I watched last week. You know anything about that stuff, Dan? Have you ever seen any inefficient top laners?
Still a ton of map control coming out here from TDE. They got 4 wards around Baron. They've got another 4 in the area of Dragon as well, although those reach into the enemy jungle as well.
Yeah, and Dank should have to be careful because the few times they've gotten out too far, they've been bent over and cuffed by Sharkbait's aggressive engages.
Yeah, Sharkbait, like I said earlier, like their vision control these last couple weeks has been great. Echo trying to steal the scuttle. Not going to happen.
Vivret, ooh, nice damage over the wand on the winds.
Just see trades. Everyone's kind of dancing. There's still a minute and a half until this dragon, but everyone's like, no, let's fight over it now. That way, everyone can be spawned, and then we can fight again. I agree. If you want to deal that sweet DPS, you do.
Yeah. Oh!
Time Wizard is the best build. I love Time Wizard, Echo. Some trolly shit.
That chunk on his senpai should give a nice advantage. Oh, and
Oh, the
with
flash!
over the wall! He easily mops up Thrifty Senpai with the super greedy recall! And that should secure the third dragon of the game. Second for the team for Sharkbait.
Dan, you might be muted in your stream. Solid. All right, that's fixed. Sorry, we're not insane.
That's wonderful.
We're not
So
insane, we promise.
do not like what Danken's doing here. There's no reason to even be around this dragon. Go out, start pushing some other lanes, get vision up somewhere. You're not gonna fight this 5v4.
Yeah, that kill for Ari is just straight sight. They had sight on her, and they didn't even know they had sight, and so that was a free kill because they thought Alice thought he was completely free in the back there. I tried to correct myself into his real name, and Alice still isn't his summer name. It's Thrifty Senpai.
And here comes an on the hunt, on the win, very, very aggressively placed here. And I think he's going to die. A flash pull on the win. He's going to use his ultimate to get out, but that just puts him back into the middle of the rest of this team. He's only going to get a 1-0. He's going to die a no-man's stun. And now here comes a nice dash out of Vibrat. He's going on a Thrifty Senpai. Failed Dusty with the flash roar. And Thrifty Senpai barely going to dodge the win this fight. And really bad glacial vision there. Thrifty Senpai somehow going to walk out of this, but this should be a second tower in the mid lane for Sharkbait HooHa.
Yeah, just some very good picks being played here from Sharkbait. Like, they're playing Division super well, and they saw Wind there was trying to push up by himself, and screw it, pop the ultimates, who cares, we're getting this kill.
Yeah, Dan, you might want to put on push to talk on your OBS or change the volume threshold. Alright. So, in the meantime, we're looking at just over a 3,000 gold lead for Sharkbait, who gotta be happy with the way this game is started. I mean, it's not a major lead, but it's a lead. And rather importantly, they're the comp that has tanks.
Yeah, it's pretty rough for a team that's like just a 4 damage dealers and then a support to play from behind like this.
Being snared out, but I don't think that Dankenja want to go too aggressive here. And now Zaku has to be careful. He's getting snared, he's getting stunned, and he has to pop the unbreakable will.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like they're just trying to force these fights, and it's just not working out for them very well. Like, they're a decent amount behind, and they're trying to make the picks just like Sharkbait is, but it's just not working out for them. The Sharkbait is very much more grouped and ready to fight these. And they're ahead, so it just makes it even harder.
Yeah, going back to our discussion about the mid lane, Thrifty Senpai 0-4-2, Vivaret 5-1-2. So much for that mid lane experience, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty rough. It's with, like I said, they put a bit more pressure on mid, but a lot of these honestly were just good plays from Vivaret in order to get those kills on Alice. So we see a lull in the action, nothing really to fight over, and Sharkbait not quite confident enough in order to just shove down a wave and try and push down one of these towers right now. So they are going for sort of a split push, getting all waves pushed in at once right now. And if they wanted right there, where they were all split, they could see them split out between the 3 lanes, would have been their chance to engage here. But Zaku's just going to walk into half of his health worth of damage.
And here comes an on the hunt, a dub drop going in. He gets 3 knockups off in this fight. Thrifty Senpai down immediately. Now Zaku in a lot of danger in the middle of this fight. Killed for Vivaret and Irohims.
Oh man.
And that is a lot of wave cleared down for Dankenja. This might be the inhibitor.
They're rotating bottom? They might just tank this.
Yeah, they've still got 15 seconds on Thrifty. He's going to be close with that laser, though. And yeah, it looks like they're actually going to just go for some recalls. So Danken's doing a nice job of going to maybe try to trade mid for bot tower here.
I don't like if they all go back here. Why would you not at least
No.
leave someone to hit that?
Did not commit to the trade. That is.
I don't like that at all.
With those two dead, they could have just had them tank the tower and just take it.
I guess without the minions, maybe they wouldn't have had the damage, but I don't like that they didn't leave anyone to hit that tower when they all backed. Salvo maybe
Now
in a bit of
Vivaret
danger
going in,
here.
he forces a flash out of Salvo, and the rest of Sharkbait in the neighborhood. Salvo's going to walk out of this one. And that's kind of a major ult down as this Baron Nash is being started. This is going to be a very scary Nasher for Sharkbait. It's going down fairly slowly, but Zaku is pretty far away. Thrifty Senpai is going to need to make a play, but he's being flashed on. Salvo is in the middle of the team. What is Salvo doing? Salvo dies immediately, and now Danken to commit to the fight anyways, even though they are off of Baron. Thrifty Senpai trying to set up, but he has not done anything in this fight yet. And this is not good for Thomas the Dank Engine. 1-4-3.
I don't know what that was. Was that tilt? Like,
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. By the way, I want to note Salvo finished off his last Whisper before finishing off any other second core item, even though the only armor on all of Sharkbait is a Dead Man's Plates and a few items on Failed Destiny.
yeah, Salvo just in the middle of the enemy team there, gets exhausted and then blown up immediately. I don't know if he was trying to save his ally there or what, but he was in no position to be in there.
So it's going to turn into a third dragon, but fortunately for Dank Engine, not a Baron Nasher. But Sharkbait just, they feel so in control of this game, everything that's going on.
Oh, and we do have a glory being popped for Destiny or Hips here. The double CC, but that's a problem with his shield up. What are you doing to him?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
So that was trying to force a pick, but they were fairly safe already.
And there is just so much wave clear out of the Sharkbait lineup, and they're going to kill Zaku. And Thrifty Senpai going to deal no damage with that Lux laser.
And
now
the counter
Salvo
engage.
being charged, Salvo being killed, Vivaret is unstoppable. On the Wind tries to get a stun in the middle of this fight, and Glacial Fissure is going to secure the disengage, but Madam Strip is just pushing down this top lane. He's going to force a teleport out of On the Wind to match.
I don't know what's happening with Dank Engine here. They're like falling apart. Like, they're just making stupid call after stupid call, trying to, I don't know, force a kill here.
Yeah, I am really curious what the plan is at this point for Dank Engine. With all the damage they have, they really need an outplay to win a team fight at this point. I mean, they definitely have some champions with outplay ability. But they definitely look like they're tilting a bit.
Yeah, I mean, their mid and bot carries are too far behind at this point. Like, even if your farm is better, it doesn't matter. All the other forms of gold are just piling up at this point.
Although it is only a 1 tower lead.
It's a tower lead, but there's a lot of dragons.
But Salvo
and
showing bot
yes.
is going to be enough to start this Nasher up. And meanwhile, Vivaret getting an easy pick onto Vivaret, who is going to Zanya's Hourglass the laser. But now On the Wind is going into Vivaret. Meanwhile, Sharkbait finishing off Baron Nasher. A shutdown kill for On the Wind. But Baron going to be secured? Yes, Baron secured. And
Yeah,
now
now they're running into the team. They are going to run out.
Disengaged.
Yeah, so Vibrat almost getting the kill on Senpai there. Thrifty
He caused
did
enough
manage to...
disruption to secure
Yeah.
Nasher for his team, which is well worth.
Yeah, very easily worth it. And now we might see a kill on Destiny, but
Oh,
he's going
nice
to all.
3-man Glacial Fissure. Destiny being chunked under this tower, and there's a second kill of this extended fight.
If they can just take another objective off this, this might have been worth it.
Yeah, they need to do something while this Ahri is down, but they're waiting on Thrifty Senpai. He's too far away. They will not be able to. And now all of the wave clear is up for Sharkbaits.
You see Savo going to grab that red buff. Yeah, we're gonna need to see much better plays. Partially shot calling, but also just better in-team fight plays from Salvo in order to see this team make it out of this game with a win.
And Thrifty Senpai, he's just been caught out pretty much every time the camera's cut to him this game.
Yeah, it's...
And Dinkin are never going to win a game when that combination is happening. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
mid lane, Dub Drum and On the Win there fighting a fight that Dub Drum's going to win.
But it is very hard for you to catch that Echo once he gets that third hit, plus the slow from his Q. We do have a 3v3 with the fourth coming down in Wukong, so they could look to dive this. They definitely have the tanks. Stripe and Wukong both could take a lot of hits under this tower. The pull coming in, probably not going to get a lot out of that.
Oh, a
Poor ult.
super early ult from Zaku. But Sharkbait, they just look so scared to press this advantage they have. And,
Oh.
nice spell shield.
That was really good.
Yeah, I hate how passively we've seen Sharkbait play all of these situations. They have such a major lead. They don't have to all be backing off every time creeps approach the tower. No one's going in and trying to get any pot shots on.
Yeah, it's just the...
And there's a nice there with no
They're-
follow-up.
Yeah, they're too worried about it being the semifinals. They don't
Oh,
want to
but that
throw
could be the
anything.
pull they needed. Dub Drum's going in, but he's just taking tower shots. And a nice laser on the Thrifty Senpai. We'll see if it matters, though. The Meltmelt going very deep. The rest of Dank Engine trying to follow through. But so far, a team fight win for Sharkbait. They're going to go. No one's dying quite yet. Now, Madamstrom's not going to quite get the dunk off, but a 1 for 3 in favor of Sharkbait. That's a big win. The 2 carries of TDE still alive.
Wow. That was a much longer fight than I thought it was going to be. But they
Yeah,
do
I
eventually...
agree. A lot of low health chase had to happen in that fight.
Yeah. We do see 2 Randuin Zomans being built, 1 for each team. Both trying to cancel out some of the enemy. Both AD and junglers are full AD right now, so...
I just want to note, Salvo, 39 minutes and 55 seconds has finally completed his Phantom Dancer.
Yeah, attack speed's kind of important on Vayne.
Maybe that's why Salvo's letting himself die so early in these fights, so we can't notice how low his DPS is compared to a real Vayne build.
I'm sure that's it. He's just worried about that after game stats. Look at this bottom ward coverage as they pushed up towards that. Like, that's just such good coverage as they were pushing into this.
Yeah,
Their
but I
warding
just
has
feel
been
like
very good.
they should have been taking so much more. And it's not that it's just, one Baron that this happened or just one game even. It's that this has been the trend for all of the playoffs for Sharkbait. But that doesn't matter right now because there's a fight being picked on the Dub Drum. He takes a lot of damage and on the win going to secure the kill. Meanwhile, Zaku, very far from his team, has to pop Unbreakable Will. But back to what I was saying earlier, if this Sharkbait team goes to the finals to play versus Team Saltshaker, that's a Master Splinter team. You know that those teams, even when they're behind, know where they can take their fights. And you can't give them this long to try to mount a comeback.
Yeah, like, both of these weeks, at least so far, obviously this is only game 1, this could easily change for the next games, but, like, they're almost they're 9k ahead right now, and it doesn't look like it at all.
No, it was almost upsetting to me, that last push in the bot lane before the fight happens, how they would get a giant wave of Baron creeps, they would have that super tanky Wukong and Darius, and no one would walk up to the tower to create a safe zone for the Sivir to get shots in.
Yeah, and it'll honestly be nice to see such a dominant team like Team Saltshaker, because if they get a gold lead, I mean, we're all fairly confident that they'll be able to, capitalize on that. With Wes especially, like, he loves to just fucking go in.
So in the meantime, we've got a minute on this Baron Nashor respawn, and at least a few minutes before this potential 5th dragon for Sharkbait. I mean, they do have a lot of opportunities for how they want to close out this game, whether they want to play for the 5th dragon or if they want to play for the 2nd Baron.
So at this point, Darius is pretty much at his super scary late game. He's very tanky at this point, and if he stays in the fight long enough, he gets that huge AD lead.
Yeah, Strip is playing like a man with the lead, too.
So, teams posturing, trying to get that sight on Baron, which is coming up in 20 seconds, and both teams know it. And Melk and Dub is going to get into it.
Pretty split from his team. He's being knocked up, and Salvo's getting into. Not going to be able to quite secure this. Now, Vibrat shows up at the perfect time. Salvo in a lot of danger. He's being forced out of this fight. Devout Melk the first casualty, but a good laser on a Thrifty that I don't think will be quite enough. Zaku now charged out front of the tower. 2 kills. And an exhaust on the Salvo, but he's going to at least trade 1 kill back for TDE. But a support and a jungler is a lot more important before this potential Baron.
Yeah, now would be a great time for them to Baron.
But they look too scared to. And that's a big pull onto Thrifty Senpai. He's going to snare himself to safety.
Yeah, they've got to. I mean, they can try and steal it with the Lux Laser, but short of that, I'm not sure how they get this Baron out of their hands.
On the way, he's going to cancel his recall. He does have teleport available as well if he needs it. But this Baron going very low, very fast. And Salvo's very far away from the central fight. And the laser not going to be enough. The smite is true from Dub Drum.
And a flash, actually,
and
from
2
Dub.
flashes.
2.
To secure their way out of there. But yet another win for Sharkbaits.
Yeah. Putting them very far ahead at this point. And now we just need to see them crack this base open in order to truly close out this game.
Oh, but meanwhile, here comes an on the hunt. I don't know what Dank Engine thought they could be doing that deep in the mid lane, but now we have Thrifty Senpai all of the wave clear off the map for 70 seconds.
Yeah, 45 minutes in. Huge cooldown timer. Everyone is trying to back right in front of them. They're just not respecting the amount of engage this team has. And they're honestly lucky right now that both of those ultimates had already been blown. Otherwise, that would have been way more kills than just Alice, than Thrifty Senpai.
But this should be the first inhibitor of the game here. And Dubdrop looks like he wants to deliver a really early Unbreakable Will again from Zaku. He's going to have to just pulverize the disengage. And an easy inhibitor. And still another 20 seconds on Thrifty Senpai. Also 15 seconds on a Dragon respawn.
Yeah, and they're going to rotate top. They're going to push that minion wave in real quick and try and get that tower as well. As we saw in the inhib turret, they chunked that thing. They've got plenty of AD on multiple champions to just blow it up.
Yeah, Salvo might be going to try to Metal Gear this dragon, but Sharkbait looked like they just remembered they have 5 dragons coming up. And this could be a big catch on the Salvo as he's priming this dragon up.
If they get this 5th dragon, though, I think they just win the game. And Salvo has to leave. That's, yeah.
He can't risk dying at this point.
Yeah, I think this 5th dragon will allow them, obviously now they have Baron and Dragon, so that should allow them to finish out this game. Baron falling off fairly soon, but I mean, they're already so far ahead that the Dragon teamfight is just going to allow them to
destroy any team fight they get into. And with the mid pushing and cracked open, we should see this game ending in the next 2 minutes. And if we don't, then they fucked up. We do see everyone going top lane. Staying group.
And there's a laser down that's obviously not a long cooldown at this point in the game.
Yeah, it's already up in 30 seconds again. But that might be enough time for them to get in and get some decent damage on this inhib tower.
Yeah, someone's going to clear a big wave of supers in the mid lane.
Oh, make no mistake, they can still throw, but good lord, there's no reason.
And there's
they
an
should
on
be
the
able
hunt.
to.
They're going for the dive instead. 50 Cent by flashing out, but it's not enough. Nearly soloed by Thumb Drum. Salvo comes to this fight kind of late. A shutdown onto 2 members of this fight.
Well,
The inhibitor tower going down. Very scattered by, and there goes Salvo. Naku gonna follow right after. A second inhibitor and a lot of creeps in Dank Engine base. 50 Senpai and Devout Mouth burst the world right now. And I don't think they're gonna be enough.
I understand they're so ahead it doesn't matter, but why was their AD and their mid the only ones past the tower?
Because they have no shot calling. I don't know if Sharkbait has a shot caller to say, hey, dive, or hey, focus tower. But regardless, a super decisive win for Sharkbait HooHa there. And they should be feeling good about that one, unlike how they started last week off, because there was not a single point in that game where Dank Engine looked good.
Yeah, like they were ahead in some farm, and that's about it. That's what they had going for them that game.
But while we have a moment, we're going to take our quick 2 to 3 minute break before we get into this game too. So we